Here is another book you've probably never heard of. You Too Can Be Prosperous. And the reason why this book is so important, the overarching idea that encapsulates every word on this book is that when you think you can make money, when you don't put any limits on yourself, there will be no limits on yourself. The reality that we accept, the reality that we feel, the reality that we create with our minds is the reality that will be reflected in the material world. For too many of us, however, I want you to think about it like this. We've been told our entire lives, you need a good job, you need this, you need that. Until you have these credentials, you'll never be anything. And it's like, the reason why you don't have the funds you want is because we live in a world where we've been told we can't do these things. And inherently, it stops us from achieving greatness. The precursor to any great achievement is thinking of it first. But how could we ever first think of it if we've been told not to think our entire lives? If we've been told, oh, before I can even dream about being a millionaire, I have to get a degree. I have to do this. I have to get a job. I have to work my way up. No, that's not the reality that I'm setting for myself. If you really want to make a change in your life, start imagining your ideal circumstances. Imagine the house, the car, the profession, the job, everything about what you wish to be. Start feeling that right now. Start living in that individual. Start becoming that individual. And when you become that individual in your mind, you will become that individual in reality. And it's frustrating that we don't accept that the mind is so powerful. The mind has so much effect on us, but we'll actively see limiting beliefs keep us down. We'll actively allow certain things that we've been told from childhood to prevent us from ever expanding our minds, expanding our worlds, expanding our realities, expanding our pockets. And that's why I love this book so much. Like this book, I'm pretty sure you can find it free online. I'm pretty sure it's lapsed. It's, what is it? Public domain. Let me see when it's published. Yeah, it doesn't even, copyright 1950. Yeah, it's probably past its public domain. And it's frustrating that we don't pick up books like this. We don't pick up resources that will reprogram our minds, because if you first reprogram your mind, then you are ready to start taking action. But everyone wants to read that finance book. Everyone wants to start that business. Everyone wants to do all of these things, but not change their mind, not change the person that's driving the car. It's frustrating. It's like putting a toddler in a car. If a toddler gets behind a car, maybe he can press the gas, but do you think he's going to drive it at all? Do you think he's going to get it very far? And that's what we're doing when we try to push and push and push and go into reality with a broken mindset, with a mindset that's told you, you need a job, you need a 9-to-5, you need a 401k, you'll never be rich, you'll never have any of these things. That's why we need to reprogram our minds, because we're driving a car and we're a toddler. We need the tools, we need the mindset, we need that reassurance inside our own head when something comes up, when some stress, when some fear, when some point of anxiety, when something bad happens. We need to be able to flip that script. We need to be able to change that in our mind and say, I'm glad this happened, because this problem could be way worse. And if it happened a year down the line, I wouldn't have addressed it, and now I'm ready for the next one. And it's we have all of these opportunities. We have all of these abilities to flip the script, to change our perception, to change our reality, and we're not doing it because we've been told to think a certain way. It's time to break that paradigm. It's time to start telling yourself, I am no longer going to have limiting beliefs. I am no longer going to believe that I am going to fail. There is nothing within inside of me that is anxious, that is fearful, that is worrying about the next paycheck, that is worrying about the next, the bills are due, this is due, because it may sound crazy. It may sound completely crazy, but tell me, when has stress ever brought out the best of you? When has anxiety ever let you make the right decision? When has being overwhelmed and overworked and underpaid and you don't know where the next meal is coming from, when has that ever helped you out? When has that ever helped you out? You may still have to deal with these issues, but fixating on them only makes it worse. The more you focus on something, the larger it becomes. And we're not focusing on the positive, we're focusing on the negative. And it's all about what you choose to focus on. So next time you're getting all stressed out, look at what you do have. Look at the things that you've been blessed with, and start thanking yourself for getting those blessings. Start thanking the world, start thanking God, start thanking the universe. Once we start doing these things, our reality will start to shift. But until we do these things, we will never make a difference. We will always be that toddler driving the car. We can never direct our ship to the right destination, because We're always going to be broken down by our minds. Our minds are always going to conquer us. Our minds are always going to tell us, you'll never be this because of this. Oh, your teachers were always right. Your parents, they were right too. They told you to get the job. They told you to take the safe option. And I'm going to keep going until this camera dies. So I'll leave a link to this book in the description, but I'm going to keep going. On top of that, it's frustrating that we don't understand that every opportunity is also a downfall. Everything can be viewed in a dualistic perspective. Every win is a loss. Every loss is a win. Think about it. You might get a dream job. You might get the job that you've always wanted, but that means that job that was just a little bit better, you're not going to be able to get it because you just took on that other job. It's the same thing with a loss. You may have got rejected by that girl, but now you have a little bit more experience. Now you know, oh wait, I'm a little nervous in this moment. Why don't I try to be a little more confident next time? Why don't I try to have a little bit better inflection or better eye contact or better body language? Like, everything has a takeaway, and the takeaway can either be good or bad. You can either get discouraged or get encouraged, and it's all about the words that you say to yourself, the frame of mind that you put yourself in, and the ability you have within yourself to reflect always the positive. Always reflect the positive. And when we start doing this, when we only focus on the positive and only focus on the riches in the world, you're going to be rewarded with riches. It's really that simple. So like, instead of getting all stressed out, instead of telling yourself, I can never make money, I can never do this, just start telling yourself, I am prosperity, I am rich, I am wealthy, I am fulfilled, I am happy, I am self-sufficient, I am self-employed, I am whatever affirmation that you want, start telling yourself that and start feeling that. Start experiencing what that would be like to be in this very moment, that which you wish to be. And the more you do that, the more you set this into your subconscious, the more you will be able to start actually achieving these things. But until we start fixing our subconscious, and until we start saying, I have all these negative beliefs, I'm a loser, I'm this, I'm that, like, you will never be able to accomplish what it is that you're trying to do, because